Hello, hello. Should we still waving to the camera? Good morning, good afternoon.
Yeah, good
Good
morning, good
morning.
afternoon, good evening from my side as well. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. For those who are in US zone, it's good morning. For us, like Europe zone, it's good afternoon, and for anyone else, is good evening, I guess. Hopefully, it's not no one watching us during the night. That would be crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, let's have a fun during this session. Hopefully, you will learn with us something during this prepare for exam day and open Q&A for DP-700. And let's introduce ourselves first, yeah, to the audience. So my name is Kamil. I'm Microsoft Data Platform MVP. I'm working for Avanade for several years. Originally, I'm from Poland, but living in UK for 10 years. And I'm working as an analytics architect in UK. My blog is here. You have a link. I have also my YouTube channel. That I will have another one quick slide about one particular video because it's related to this topic today. And you can find me on the Blue Sky those days. I left Twitter. Nicola, how about you? Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Kamil. Hi. It's great to be with you today here for this session.
Super,
I'm very
fantastic.
happy. Yeah, very happy and excited about that. And I'm also excited to see a lot of friends in the audience. So I'm sure it's gonna be great 60 minutes or so. So yeah, I'm Nikola. I'm originally from Belgrade in Serbia, but I'm based in Austria in Salzburg, wonderful city of Salzburg for the last 9 years. You can also find all the details about myself here on this slide. Also YouTube. I'm blogging at data-mozart.com. And as I said, extremely excited to be with all of you today.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Nicola. And we have moderators, our fantastic moderators with us, which is Edward and Frank, our friends from Data Platform MVP program. Not only from program, from conference, our friends, yeah, we can meet them during the conferences and other events. So yeah, so please ask them any question during the session. Hopefully, I believe, I bet they will be able to answer all of them. But it's fine if not. We can try to do the same. And if not, some questions will be unanswered. Yeah, so it's also possible. Yeah. Now, this is the almost last session. The another one will be on 11th of March, similar to this. So if you couldn't make this one, you have another chance to do that. So this is the whole calendar, and also all the previous sessions you can watch on YouTube channel. Yeah, so that's you didn't miss anything. Yeah. But of course, it's still better to have this live session because on live you can ask any questions you are struggling with. Yeah. And the other thing is about the conference. It's conference, second annual conference, Microsoft Fabric Community, happening Las Vegas at the end of March. So it's like about a month left. Yeah. Nicola, are you going there?
Not this year. Not this year. I'm skipping. Yeah, I was too
But
many
you've
times
been
in
last
Las
year.
Vegas. Yes, I've been last year. Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm not
Yeah.
going this year as well. But yeah, for anyone who would like to go, there's a discount. So you can register with this link and use the code MSCAST, get a $150 of discount.
Yeah, you
So
should definitely go if you can, if you have a chance. It's the biggest conference, biggest event related to Microsoft Fabric. So if you think seriously about Fabric, you should definitely go there.
Yeah, and I think it's the biggest conference I ever saw, and I haven't been there yet, but I saw the biggest one. So yeah, so definitely just convince your boss or talk to appropriate people in your company to just ask them for budget and go for it. Nicola, do you want to cover this one?
Yes, thanks for that.
You have, I think.
I mean, this is data engineering session, so I doubt that we have a lot of data engineers who are proficient with data visualization. At least I'm talking from my perspective. But yeah, there is a great initiative currently happening and this is Power BI Database World Championships. It's split in 4 weeks. There are 4 different challenges, and each week one person will win a challenge for that week, and it automatically becomes a finalist. And then after all 4 weeks, there will be a one champion. As far as I know, the champion gets a free pass to FabCon Las Vegas that you just mentioned. So if you are in data visualization, you definitely don't want to miss this initiative, I'm sure. So yeah, go to this link and check all the details. It's already underway.
That's correct. Yes, very nice opportunity, and yeah, pretty nice challenge, I would say. Okay, and we have 50% discount.
Yes, we have for this exam that we are covering this series, including today's session. We have a special offer with 50% discount for taking the exam. That's a huge discount considering that yeah, those exams are not cheap. So basically, if you want to grab this badge, I think you should use this offer by the end of March and then grab this nice half price discount. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, thanks, Nicola. And yeah, let's make this session live and interactive, so you can use the chat below the video. So ask any questions that you would like to ask, that you would like to. So it can be anything about the fabric, I guess. Yeah, it's like any questions, not only related to exam. So yeah, please ask. Our wonderful moderators will try to answer. If not, we will still have some time at the end of the session to cover some unanswered questions. Yeah. Cool. So with that, over to you,
yes.
Nicola.
Yeah, thank you, Kamil. So yeah, a short introduction about this session today. Today we are going to talk how to prepare for exam day, and we will have a dedicated part or dedicated slot. Let's say almost half of our session will be dedicated to your open Q&A, your open questions, and we will try, as Kamil said, to provide the answers to everything related. We hope to get questions about the exam itself and certifications, of course. But if you have any other burning question about Fabric, which is not strictly relevant to DP-700, our moderators and us will be happy also to take this. So it's your time to make this session more interactive with asking questions. And if we can move to the next slide, please.
Absolutely.
Yes. So topics that we are going to cover in the first part of this session before Q&A. You see that Q&A is planned for not the end, but let's say sometimes after 30 minutes time. So first of all, we will talk about why should you get certified? Why would you considering getting this badge? Why this mean? Why does it mean? What does it mean for when adding this badge to your CV? How employers value this badge and so on. Then probably one of the most important topics that you're going to cover today is how to prepare for the exam. Obviously, we hope that you watched the entire series. You did, right? Yes, you did. Okay, so now it's time to get more resources, more offline resources that you can leverage to get yourself ready for passing the exam. Then, of course, talking about the exam format and scoring. You know, when you watch quiz from on TV and when you go there to take to get involved in the quiz, it's totally different experience. So we want to share our experience and offer you some tips and tricks also to understand what to expect and which tools you have at your disposal to maybe make your life easier during the exam itself. And as I said, there will be a huge portion of this session dedicated specifically to taking and answering your questions. As we talk, feel free to ask questions in chat. I'm sure our moderators Ed and Frank will happily answer them. And yeah, let's dive into the content.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you very much, Nicola. So the first part is like, why get certified? So Nicola, you mentioned about the badges. Yeah, so I remember that you have some badges as well. Yeah, already collected. There's not two of them, right?
Yes, you're right. Same as you. So yeah, basically those fabric related certificates, I took all of them and passed so far. So yeah, I'm proud to share this. Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
you are as well.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, absolutely. So I would like to just share with you this one slide. So why I'm mentioning this, because this one of the video I have on my YouTube channel, when I was thinking like it's recorded and published about a year ago. So when I'm talking, the whole video is like focused on why it's worth to getting certificates, like in general, not about the particular Microsoft Fabric or any like kind of like Microsoft, but in general, why it's worth. So there's a 10 reasons I'm covering in this video to why it's worth. So if you're interested, why, please take a look on this video. But some of the reasons we are covering on today's session as well. So let's start from the beginning. So let's take a look on the first one. So demonstrate proficiency. It's in specific skills associated with the industry roles and and associated to the certificates that you that you have. Yeah. So it's pretty important because very quickly you can be recognized. Yeah, as a professional in your area. And by this, by building on uploading your skills, you can reach full productivity sooner and become your like a important employee or team member, yeah, or recognized person in your team or company. Yeah, so compared to the peers, you can achieve more, you can be recognized better, and actually help your friends or help your colleague in the project or in the company. Yeah. The other thing is that if you are feeling like rewarded, yeah, on average, certified employees earn 50% more than those without certifications, and nearly 20% more productive, and have longer tenure in the company. So if that kind of things are important for you, and it should be, I guess, for most of us. So that's another reason why it's important. And get promoted. So having more and more certificates, it's not only about your skills, about your knowledge, but also it's distinguish you from other professionals and can improve your opportunities for advancement in your current role or organization. Yeah. So certified employees are often entrusted with supervising their peers, putting them on the fast track for a promotion. So actually, in fact, employers regularly use the certification as a creation for promotion. So that's very important case, and in many companies also, having certified employees is also important from the fact that they can be, as a company, as an organization, that can be at some specific level of partnership with the organization like Microsoft or like the others. Yeah, so it's also important from that perspective. So there's many different reasons. What else I didn't mention? Satisfaction. It will be your satisfaction. Yeah. So don't take our words for it, but listen to listen to those who have achieved their goals. So like they definitely have the satisfaction from getting the passing the exam, because that's also important thing. If you're learning, preparing for the exam, then you need to, of course, spend some time on it. Yeah, the more you have, the less time you need to spend on preparing for the next one or the next exam. But if you are just beginning this kind of journey, so I bet you will spend plenty of hours and days to preparing for the first exam. And that's what I remember when I was preparing for my first exam, and that was double difficult because my origin language is Polish, and I was learning and preparing for English exam, and I was reading that big books to preparing for exam, and the whole book was in English. because I knew that it will help me, to learn English, to be prepared better for the exam, because the questions in the exam also will be in English. So, it all makes sense, yeah. But it took me while to just prepare for the exam, yeah. So yeah, it's all important because of that. And also, in those days, AI and IoT technologies are generating more and more data, but that data doesn't mean much for if organization can use this efficiently, yeah. So there's a gap between the demand for data professionals and available talent is a key concern those days, yeah. There's that there's a race for AI has accelerated this issue, but as the demands for data expertise has grown, so too has the gap between the numbers of people with these skills and the comparatively huge number of roles to fill. So 46% of businesses recruiting for roles requiring data skills. So they have struggled to do so over the past 2 years. And this is true, specifically for kind of data engineers, data scientists, specifically with technical skills, yeah, not only having, soft skills or some kind of fundamentals knowledge, but actually particular specific expert knowledge. You can be there, yeah. So absolutely, you can start with something like this, or maybe you already covered and have some certificates. This might be another step in your journey, in your professional journeys. And also, those numbers comes from US, but data roles pay, like, this is average salary for US market for data professional is average is like 128K, yeah. So significantly higher than many other tech roles, yeah. And I see the similar, maybe not like exact. I mean, maybe if we recalculate to euros or pounds in UK, so that probably would be similar or the same. Depends on the level, of course, but it's all depends on your how long you are working on the market, what is your expertise, what is your experience, yeah, how many years of experience you have actually. Okay, let's move on. The another is like, yeah, what is the Microsoft Fabric? So we don't have specific slides showing like what is the Fabric, what kind of experiences we have in Fabric. If you want to take a look on this, as Nicola mentioned earlier, take a look at any of the previous videos when there's more details about specific skills or experiences, whereas there are more details about what is Microsoft Fabric. But just here, we will mention that Microsoft launched Microsoft Fabric as kind of end-to-end analytics platform, unified platform that brings together the data preparation, data ingestion, data warehousing, data engineering, data science, real-time analytics or real-time intelligence, the new name, and yeah, in general, business intelligence to this one unified SaaS platform, SaaS foundation, yeah, with one copy of data stored in one lake. So that's in a very short word, what is Microsoft Fabric, yeah. And what else? So this Microsoft certified is new program, DP-700. In general, it covers a few things, yeah. So there's a section about the ingestion and transforming the data, security and managing an analytics solution, monitoring and optimizing an analytics solution as well. So you should be skilled at manipulating and transforming data by using, SQL, structured query language. I bet most of you know this, and this language will not going to die, as some of the people are claiming. You should know PySpark as well, and Custo query language, KQL. So that's from the very high level. You should have, in general, you should have like a subject matter expertise with this data loading patterns, data architecture, and orchestration processes. Yeah. So as I mentioned, the responsibility will be those kind of three. And also, what I remember comparing to the DP-600, I think there's finally, and thankfully for data engineers, there's no DAX queries, queries about DAX and things like visualization. Yeah, the area that I'm not good at. Okay, let's go next. Yeah, so next session is how to prepare, how you can feel that you are ready to take the exam, so to actually to pass the exam. So yeah, Nicola, over to you.
Yes, thanks, Camille. Thanks. When you are ready, you probably don't feel ready in any moment.
Never.
I would say you're not 100% ready. But
Absolutely.
the good news is that you don't need 100% of correct answers to pass. So that's also something that should encourage you to take the exam, even though you don't feel fully confident. And yeah, talking about some of the resources for preparing, obviously we'll start, and you should start with Microsoft Learn, because it contains the most comprehensive library of all the resources relevant, not only for DP-700, but let's say for Fabric in general as a platform. So I'm suggesting, because we are getting a lot of questions, I would say also probably for you, Camille, that's the case, from people asking, how should I prepare for this exam or that exam? And always my starting point is go to Microsoft Learn, figure out what is the learning path for that specific exam, and then just fill the blanks if you see that something is missing or you're not 100% confident that a specific topic is covered properly, or you didn't understand for whatever reason. Then try to find other resources that we are also going to examine in a few seconds. So first, go to Microsoft Learn. There are many learning modules that are specifically related to this exam. So you can take those learning modules, do some knowledge checks while learning stuff along the way. And obviously, this series of webinars that was organized by Microsoft team is also a great starting point, and probably gives you like a big picture of what you can expect in DP-700 exams. So go to Microsoft Learn and then watch the entire series. If you haven't watched it live, or previous episodes, as Camille mentioned at the beginning, you can go to YouTube channel and find recordings and watch each and every topic covered in depth. Now, there are also some additional resources. We will move very soon to official study guide for DP-700. Other than that, as I mentioned, if you feel there are some gaps in Microsoft Learn modules, you can also reach out to and check additional study resources from community experts. Oh, I know this guy, Data Mozart. Who is that? Don't go there. Don't go there. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I feel honored to be included here together with my fellow MVP colleagues and professionals. Go and check these locations, and you will find great resources to boost your knowledge regarding DP-700. So Microsoft Learn complemented with community resources, I think that's a winning formula. I'm not sure if you agree with me, Camille, but at least that works for me every time.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. There's plenty of useful, information. So yeah, absolutely check that. And I didn't mention, but on my YouTube channel, I also have like a videos like covering all the labs that are presented in Microsoft Learn. So each module in Microsoft Learn have the lab at the end. So I'm just covering and showing like how to do all those steps. So, but of course, it would be even still better if you do it on your own. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for that. If I can ask just for my screen to be shared shortly, so I want to share. Thank you. So let's go through the official page for taking this Fabric Data Engineer Associate exam, DP-700. So that should be your starting point. Go there and figure out what are the topics that are included and what are the ways to prepare and practice for the exam. That is super important, because no matter how much you learn, it's good to know where to search for additional resource or take the test exam and so on. Now, if you scroll down this page, you will see that there are different learning modules that are relevant for taking DP-700 exam. To be honest, I know that this is a Microsoft's event, but not everything is covered in these learning modules that are listed here. So I encourage you to go and find additional modules on Microsoft Learn that cover specific topics in more depth that are part of DP-700. So this is a good starting point, but don't stop here. Go and sharpen your knowledge with additional modules on Microsoft Learn. And also here you can see how the exam looks like. So you can practice for the exam and see how the environment for taking exam looks like. You will see the details about the exam. We will talk about that later during our session. That's starting point. From there, what I'm suggesting everyone who is considering taking any certification, any Microsoft certification, go and find the study guide for that specific exam, because that's the biggest resource and the most important resource for everyone considering taking the exam. Why? Because it's so comprehensive. It literally covers everything that you should need to know to be able to successfully complete the exam. So don't skip study guide. You see here on the left-hand side, there are study guides for all the exams. I'm currently on the one that we are talking about in this session. So you have a high-level overview of the exam, of all the skills measured. And the great thing about this study guide is that you can figure out what are your, let's say, strengths and some weaknesses, because we can't know everything. So maybe you are good with ingesting data, transforming data, doing data modeling stuff, but you are not so proficient with KQL. Here you can find all the topics, all the skills listed, and then you can figure out which skills you need to work more on. And speaking in that regard, I want to share a wonderful resource created by our friend and fellow MVP, Shabnam Watson. So if you go to Shabnam's blog, I'll share this link later in our chat. So Shabnam created a very, very innovative solution. So she created a Power BI report where basically she tracked all of these skills measured. And I think it's a great for you to track the progress and find out where to focus more or less when preparing the exam. So I'll share this. This is one of my favorite resources for DP-700. I'll share the link. And yeah, we can go back to Camille's screen, to slides. Thank you. And I think this is also great news. This is not the news anymore. It's more than a year now, but a lot of people are still not aware that you can use Microsoft Learn during the exam. So every exam is an open book exam now. So you can open. Is it cheating? I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe not. Depends how you plan to use Microsoft Learn during the exam.
But you know, Nicola, I think I believe it's not cheating, because if Microsoft allows you to do that, you can do that, of course. But it's actually tricky, you know, because you know, whenever you need to start looking some information in Microsoft Learn, you know, it consumes your very precious time. Yeah. So you might find yourself that it's kind of not very good situation when you need to spend you know, pressure minutes, you know, like looking for specific.
Totally. That's why I wanted to mention that it's not a cheat, of course. But if you plan to take the exam just relying on Microsoft Learn, so you don't know a lot of things, and you think, I can go to Microsoft Learn and answer all the questions, I have to disappoint you. You will not have enough time for doing that. So this is a great supplement for people who are in the topic, but they're not 100% sure about the answer, or you forgot the syntax or something like that. You know where to look for. Then Microsoft Learn is of great help during the exam in that regard. But don't rely too much on Microsoft Learn. As Camille mentioned, it can eat a lot of your time. So yeah.
Exactly. If you need to just confirm some statement, or you're not sure because you don't remember exactly, so and you know where you're looking for, where to check that information, go for it, but don't spend too much time on this.
Exactly. I heard a lot of people having troubles relying too much on Microsoft Learn. Yeah. Taking a look at study guide, you already took the look at study guide. So again, don't skip this this study guide for the exam. That's, in my opinion, that's the most important resource for preparing the exam. Yeah, talking about exam format and scoring. So now there are two methods, two ways to take the exam. You can go to the testing center and do it in person, or you can do it online through the Pearson VUE provider of for exams. And for this taking, for people who are taking this exam online, just be ready to prepare your room in advance. So if you schedule the exam for 9 a.m., make sure that at 8:30 you are already there and that you have enough time to prepare the room, clean everything from your desk, turn off your second monitor and stuff like that. But yeah, maybe more on that, later. And yeah, handing over back to you, Camille.
Sure. Nicola, so usually how much time you are giving yourself before the exam starts? You know, how much time you need for just prepare, you know, your room and prepare with everything?
Yeah, I like to be half an hour before the official start of the exam. I like to be half an hour there. You don't, in reality, you probably don't need half an hour to clean your desk and prepare everything, but it's good not to be stressed. So that's why I prefer to come a little bit earlier. How about you?
Yeah, I mean the same. Yeah, 30 minutes is like a comfortable time to just prepare everything, making sure that you have clear desk. If you're doing this online, of course, yeah, you have clear desk. You know, you have hidden or closed some monitors. I have 3 monitors right now, so I need to just make sure, because you will be taking a picture of your room. Yeah, you need to prepare the ID as well ahead of time to just not be stressed. But yeah, so give you appropriate amount of time to just do all those steps one by one, especially if you are doing this for the first time. Yeah, so check your internet connection, you know, your computer, make sure that you don't have to connect it any additional devices, you know. Some like storages, for example. I had like one case when the software recognize some additional kind of storage or something connected to my laptop, and they
I knew you were cheating.
No. I found out after like 15 minutes what it was, and it was USB hub with some card readers, you know, connected to my laptop. So this device was recognized as a kind of external storage, which is not allowed when you need to start the exam. Yeah, so think about that small kind of pieces. Yeah, if you have some kind of very busy room, so make sure that you can clean this as much as possible to avoid the delay with the start of your exam. Because, you know, if you take a picture of your room and your room will be too messy, or the proctor will be not sure like what you have there, then and that, so you will get a call from them to just double check things. And this is just delay the exam. Yeah, so you probably not want to just, you know, cheating, but those additional stuff can just delay the start of the exam. Yeah. What also worth to mention, there's about 60 questions on the exam, but not each of them is worth 1 exact point. There's depends. And there's also very important information. There's no penalty for guessing, so you will not subtract points for wrong answers. Yeah, so don't leave the questions unanswered. Yeah, so even if you're not sure, you can just guess or guess and mark the question to check later. Yeah, so at the end of the section or at the end of the exam, you can check, okay, how many questions you mark as to be reviewed, and then you can go back to them. So just don't waste time. Don't waste time for that. Yeah, and there's not only like a multiple choice question. The format the format of those questions is sometimes you have single choice, multiple choice, but also there's some like a build list, hot area. There's active screen when you need to move some item and put them in appropriate order, you know, like you would be doing some kind of coding or just you know, completing some statement. So you need to know those things. Yeah. So again, so that those questions looks like this. That's why it's worth to get this practice assessment, yeah, as Nicola mentioned earlier. It's very, very helpful, especially again, like if you are doing this for the first or second time. And yeah, case studies, there's like detailed information on the business and technical requirements. There's like plenty of information about the business requirements, the giving you context of the specific case. So what I'm doing in that kind of things, because there's plenty of information. Yeah, there's several pages, of course, not like a full A4 page, but there's plenty of information, several pages. So what I'm doing, I'm just scanning them very quickly, like trying to catch the most important information and not reading everything end to end, but I'm moving to the first question and checking the context of the question. If I know the context of the question, I'm going back to check the details about the case study. But that's me. Maybe your approach will be different. Maybe you will be more comfortable reading the business case very carefully first and then go to the questions. Yeah, that's not a problem, because on the case study you can see it's all the time. So reading the question, you have access to all the pages describing the context and case study details. Okay, did I miss anything, Nicola?
No, I would just like to emphasize this point. So no penalty. If you don't know the answer, press B, and that's it. You will probably guess sometime. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and how the exam is scored? Yeah, so there's a scores range from 0 to 1,000, and the passing score is always set at 700. So as I mentioned, there's not always 1 point per question. So it's worth to remember. But like more or less, you should be like at this kind of, not exactly 70% level, but yeah, I would try to reach out something like 80, maybe 90 if you can during learning. And then if you will be even below, so that should be still fine, yeah, for you. Again, no points deducted for wrong answer. That's very important. Just guess if you're not sure. And yeah, go with that. Don't overthink too much about the questions. Yeah, so if you're not sure, if you are struggling with any particular question, maybe just answer something, or even don't answer or mark this question to review later. Yeah. And yeah, as I mentioned, some questions are worth more than 1 point, so maybe 2, 3, 4 based on the question. What else? That's it. That's the most important parts from this perspective. Yeah. Yeah. So how the process looks like? Yeah, as we mentioned, so Proctor will identify you. We need to verify your identity. So you need to just be prepared with any ID, like passport, maybe driving license, whatever is more suitable for you. And then Proctor will unlock your exam after you will take some pictures of your room and check that if there's no objections, you will good to go. And if there will be any things that need to be checked with you, so they will give you a call. Yeah, because you need to be ready with your microphone. Your microphone need to be switched on all the time. You will see the title screen with the exam name. There will be agreement for like NDA you need to accept. And yeah, review any questions that you want to revisit when you pass them. So at the end of the section or at the end of the exam, you can review them. And yeah, take the exam, complete the skills survey. What's other important thing I would like to mention? I missed something here. Oh yeah, I lost this. Anyway, yeah. So if you if you get this the results, you should, I mean, if that's not the beta exam, which is your case, I guess, you will see the results at the end of the exam. Yeah. So yeah, Nicola, anything you would like to add to this slide where we are here?
No, I think what I would like to say is don't be too stressed when reading the exam questions. So these questions are not built in that way to trick you into something. So they are built to help you better understand what is necessary to answer. So there are no trick questions. That don't stress too much about that.
Yeah, and I remember what I wanted to also add here. Yeah, so during the exam, you will have all the time your camera on and microphone on as well. Yeah, so make sure there's no extra some suspicious noises during the exam, because in that case the proctor might pause the exam and double check something with you and things like this. Yeah, so make sure that it's there's no cases like that. Yeah. Okay, let's go next one. So tips and tricks for exam day.
Yeah, we shared a lot of those tips and tricks so far, but let's wrap up, or let's summarize everything that we shared during the session. So first of all, go to study guide, download the study guide, skills outline, and practice all the skills listed. If you are lazy, or let's say if you are efficient, you will go to Shabnam's blog and grab everything. It's already there. Go and finish learning path on Microsoft Learn, and if you find some gaps over there, look at the official documentation for Microsoft Fabric as a platform, not just from the perspective of DP-700 exam. Talk to others, become part of the community. There is a very vibrant community around those exams, data platform related exams. Talk to other people, ask them how they've experienced the exam, how they experienced the entire process of taking the exam, answering the questions, and everything else. Schedule the exam, of course, and make sure to, if you haven't practiced a lot, make sure to save some time between the exam date and the date the date you are scheduling the exam and the actual exam date, so you have enough time to study and practice. Also take a practice test. As of today, it's still not available because this exam just went out from beta a few weeks ago, but very soon there will also be a practice test available for DP-700. I think links are included in the presentation, and I think that this will be shared with you. So test exam, practice test, go there. This is very, very similar to the real exam, and this is the good.
Not the same. Not the same.
Not the same, of course. Yeah. But very similar in terms of structure and how questions are structured over there. So you will get a good feeling, or let's say a good hint, if you need to practice more or if you are ready to take the exam. So those are some of the tips that we have for preparation and scheduling the exam itself.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not sure if you already say that on this slide, but you said that earlier, so I think it's worth to repeat. Just don't feel like you have to be prepared like 100%. You need to just be perfect in answering all the questions for the practice exam, because in that case you will never schedule an exam. Yeah, so that would be like wasting of time. I mean, I personally never trying to reach like 100%. Yeah, so like I'm good to be like I don't know something. Yeah, it's always like that. I'm okay to be like 80 or 90%. Yeah, so
same here. Same here. You don't need to be perfect. That's a great point, Camille. Yeah.
Exactly, that's important, because if you're trying to bring into the perfection, you will spend too much time and efforts, and you might end up with the situation when you will not schedule this exam, and after a year or 2 years you will still not have it. You will still not have this badge, and you will be like a little bit frustrated and not believing in yourself. Yeah, that you can do it, and etc. Yeah, so just don't think like that. Yeah, just try to prepare yourself as much as you can, but not like to the level of 100%. and just schedule the exam, you know, during the course of preparing and learning. Just schedule an exam. I don't know, like how much time you need, 1 month, maybe 2 months. Okay, schedule the exam at some point, yeah. And you know, and just, you know, when you schedule that, there is no exit. Yeah, so like you need to just pick it up, and you know, and you know, and if you even if you failed, yeah, it's nothing wrong. Yeah, it's not like a life and death situation. Yeah, you still will be alive. Yeah, you just learn something. At least you will see how the exam looks like, how the questions looks like, where and which area you can be better, and things like that. Yeah, so it's also a good thing. Yeah, of course you need to pay another exam, but it's like not end of the world. Yeah. So Nicola, before we move to another slide, to the next slide, we have one question. I think it's worth to cover right now. So the question is, how much harder is DP-700 compared to DP-600?
Okay, you want me to answer that?
That's a hard question, right?
No, it's not. The answer is very simple. It depends.
Okay.
It depends.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but let me explain on what it depends. So, if you are a data engineer and you spend most of your time doing data engineering tasks, so building pipelines, working with Spark, writing some KQL, you are very good with SQL and so on, then DP-700 is easier for you. Like you mentioned, Camille, there is no DAX in DP-700. So if you don't use Power BI, if you are not a Power BI professional working with DAX, working with Power Query and so on, then DP-700 is easier for you. For people who are more proficient with Power BI, building semantic models, doing some advanced stuff with semantic models in Power BI, for them, definitely DP-600 is easier. So it depends on your profile, I would say. But in terms of, let's say, general a level of complexity, they are more or less the same. They are very much harder than, let's say, DP-900, which is data fundamentals, obviously. But from a perspective of someone who works with Power BI, DP-600 is easier. For someone who works extensively with Spark, DP-700 is easier. So that's my answer.
I totally agree with you, because I remember, like, when I was going through the DP-600, I will be honest with you, some questions I was just guessing, because it was some question about DAX, and I don't remember how many years ago I learned DAX. It was like probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm not working with DAX on my daily basis. Yeah, so I was like, oh my god, I don't remember this. I think it might be this, and after many of years of working with something, and in general, in IT, you can have like kind of good feeling or good guessing, yeah, ratio, let's say. So yeah, I was doing that, and at the end I passed. However, I was not feeling at the end of the exam that I will pass it, and I think this DP-600 was the beta for me, so I didn't get the answer immediately after. So I had to wait several weeks for the results, but finally I passed. Yeah. So or maybe it was this beta was for 700, not for 600. Anyway, I passed this in the first approach, but I was not sure if I did it.
But that's totally fine. That's totally fine. I mean, you can't know everything. In reality, you don't work with all of these technologies every day. Maybe you use, I don't know, KQL once in 3 months, and you use SQL every day. So definitely you will be more proficient with SQL than with KQL. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't take this exam. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's mention again about the what is this session? What is the next session? Actually, it's happening on 11th of March. So it will be similar session to this one if you want to join. And the conference, Microsoft Fabric Community Conference, the biggest one. If you like to go, just use this discount coupon to have better price. And yeah, again, Power BI Data Viz World Championship. So yeah, consider to take a part of this. And now, yeah, and another one is about this discount. Yeah, 50% of discount. So now I think we can check the other questions before we close the session.
I see one. I see one.
Yeah.
I see one. After Fabric exams and Azure fundamentals, would you recommend DP-100 or AI 100.02 for someone with an analytical background and exposure to data science?
So from my perspective, I can start, Nicola, if you
Yeah,
okay
yeah, go ahead. Of course.
I don't remember DP-100, but I guess it's some fundamentals of data platforms.
I
but
think it's
AI,
data science. I think it's data science. Fundamentals
data science.
of data.
Okay.
Let me
Yeah,
check while we
I
are
don't
talking.
remember.
Yeah.
Please double check in the meantime. But about AI, I would get any kind of AI fundamentals, because that's the today's words, nowadays words that we have, and you should have some basic knowledge about AI and things like that, to be able to just just speak with others and just have a context, what kind of services maybe in Azure, or what is available, and things like that. Even if that's not your core expertise, will be your core responsibilities. Yeah.
Yes, I checked. It's Azure Data Scientist Associate. So unfortunately, okay, I can't help because I'm not doing data science. I don't have any experience, so I can't help with that. What I can 100% tell you is that data science is not tested on DP-700, neither on DP-600. So this is separate area. Yeah.
But it's always good to start with some fundamental, exams. Yeah. So to just have, because this is great first. I mean, this is a great start to take the other more complex or more deep exams and check your knowledge and skills. Yeah. So that's why.
Let's see if there are any more questions. I see that Ed and Frank, but also I saw Stephanie is here. They were all answering questions. Thank you all, guys, for answering questions in the chat.
Thank you for all your efforts. And
you have a beer when we meet.
Absolutely. And so if you have any additional questions, we can check them right now. I'm looking at the chat at the moment.
There is one. Is DP-600 a prerequisite for DP-700? Do you recommend taking DP-600 before DP-700? Not necessarily. I mean, it's definitely not a prerequisite.
No.
There is some overlapping in topics and skills measured, but they are aimed towards different professionals. So it's not a prerequisite.
Absolutely. Good point. So if we don't have any other questions, so my recommendation would be check the other videos and join another session, which will happen on 11th of March. So then there will be another opportunity for you to ask any Microsoft Fabric or exam relevant questions. Yeah.
And just to mention for people who will be watching this later, I saw that Pam put in the chat that practice exam will be ready by the end of March. So that's a good news. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Pam.
Okay, now I think it's time for us to finish the session. So I would like to thank everyone who joined us today. I would like to thank you, Nicola, for having this presentation with me together. It's our first time when we're presenting together, so it's fantastic.
But definitely not the last, I would say.
Oh yeah, definitely. We need to repeat that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, thank you very much, and have a good day, have a good evening, and bye-bye.
From my side also, thank you everyone. Thanks moderators, and good luck with the exam.